opportunity. We talked about the invasion of cities and colleges.
Heads up, this is a long video. Pause.
I want to throw to one more example. Someone who teeters on the edge quite a bit shows up talking out of both sides of his mouth. He had this to say recently about Jasmine Crockett. Sometimes you get attacked by your own.
Our Jasmine Crockett chooses to express herself. I'm like, is that going to help your district in Texas? Aren't you there to find a way to get stuff done as opposed to just being an impediment to what Trump wants? How much work goes into that? I'm just going to go off about Trump, cuss him out every chance I get, say the most derogatory, incendiary things imaginable, and that's my day's work. That ain't work.
He's got to deal with Black woman issues
Oh my
writ
God.
large, and whatever self-hate exists within him.
That is self-hate before
I've
a black
never
woman.
seen a clip of him where he actually praises a Black woman. for
That's what I'm
doing
saying. He's got
something
Black woman issue he's got to deal
But
with. But
For those who are listening, that was Stephen A. Smith commentating about Jasmine Crockett's lack of work. For context, there was a poll that was recently done, and Jasmine Crockett's approval numbers amongst the American people rival Barack Obama's in 2008. So, just for context, he is on an island unto himself. Because
or
people,
caping for some
because
other
people,
element.
because people see her largely
TR, pause the
working on our
video.
behalf. And I also want to say,
Yo,
Did you hear what she? I don't know because you went out and you jumped back in. She said,
Yeah, I heard it.
Jasmine. She said Jasmine Crockett's approval rating is just as high as Obama's was back in 2008. Do you believe that?
um, no, I don't really believe it though, and it's one of those things where they want to elevate Jasmine Crockett so bad, like Jasmine Crockett can't do anything wrong. So they start talking about approval ratings. Like, well, shit, if that's the case, then why didn't she run for president, or why is she not in line to run for the president? Because she can't get the what do you call it? She can't get the votes. She might be able to get the votes in her district though, and I don't know if you knew this, MC, but they redistricted in Texas recently. It went through all the Supreme Court. Democrats were pissed off. They tried to walk out, blah, blah, blah. The point is, they redistricted, and she's going to have to like work for those voters in that in her particular area that she doesn't even live in. So she's going to have to work in that area, and if she wants to keep her seat. So we're going to find out how popular Jasmine Crockett is.
I have the same mentality with her that I do for most people in Congress. So I've never seen someone in Congress who.
Facts.
Hold on, I got to read this. She want to be able to win the general election. Yeah, I don't think she could either. And I think whatever polls that Angela Rye is speaking about, it had to be a very small sample size and a very.
Yeah.
It's probably just a bunch of black people, to be honest. I don't think she would test very well outside of black women. I think black men will rock with her a little bit less than black women, but everybody else, it's like, nah, I don't know about that one. Brando,
Yeah.
was good.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, Stephen A. I mean, he does do a lot of like shuffling, and I mean, the crazy thing, I don't really hear Stephen A. Smith going after a lot of women, especially when it comes when it comes to WNBA. Stephen A. is like one of the biggest people championed for the WNBA. Like he will elevate
He
a
put
lot of
more
people.
black women on at ESPN than
Yeah.
anybody else who's ever worked there, but they don't care
Yep.
about that.
And
They don't care.
and he voted for Kamala. And you have these two men. One is Zesty. I forgot who this other guy is.
That's
Because
Andrew Gilliam, the one he's calling Zesty. And you remember, TR, when he lost his governmental election in Florida, the first thing they did was they blamed black men.
yeah, that's always the easy out.
But I'll say this too. They want to question Stephen A's relationship with black women. I know for a fact he gave a lot of black women platforms, and with some who really weren't even that talented, if we're being honest. He's done that. I'm constantly hearing this dude praise his daughters, and even his ex wife that he's not with anymore. He'll even give her, positive comments or whatever.
Yeah,
And let's
black.
not forget about the amount of money that he raises for HBCUs. Why
Yeah.
do we see? Why do we see- why do
HBCU
we
week.
see-
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah,
why
he's
do we
constantly.
forget that?
Yeah, he's constantly. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Look, black men, conservative black men, and conservative men in general. I mean, straight men with high testosterone. It doesn't matter what you do or what you accomplish. If you say something positive about Trump, or you say something about a black woman who is a a Democrat or a liberal, they got smoke for you. There are plenty of black women that are Democrats that are that are conservative. They don't care about those women. Those women are the scum of the earth. They go after all those women, and Stephen A is an easy target because they want to. I mean, we're gonna get further in the video, but Stephen A has, like you said, had the HBCU week. He's constantly putting on a lot, and I don't know Stephen A does this on purpose, but he's connected to a lot of athletes, and he is always trying to put black athletes on. I remember he tried to put Allen Iverson on because he wanted Iverson to have a career. I mean, I'm sure Iverson wanted to have a career after basketball too, but he wanted Iverson to be like, chime in on the sports commentating when it comes to basketball. It didn't work out, but Stephen A. Smith, I mean, and I don't know if Stephen A. Smith is 100% on all this stuff too. We got to remember the whole basketball fiasco and stat padding or the lack of stats. But all I can go off is what Stephen A. Smith has said. And for them to come after Stephen A. Smith, who has been a staunch Kamala supporter, he should not be getting smoke like this. And they get really rude and disrespectful. And this is how they treat a lot of men. So you get in line, men. This is what's waiting for you. These are what these two black women are saying about black men. And then you have two other black men jumping in to bury this black man as well too. And I mean, I don't know if I don't know if they even have kids. Stephen A has two black daughters. Like that doesn't even matter.
I don't know how far into this video you want to go. Are you playing the whole video, or are we just breaking it? Okay, I'm gonna wait until they get to this part because there's something that was said on here that really pissed me the hell off.
Recently had Jasmine Crockett on. It was on my solo pod, and Jasmine is on the show talking about having to go get fit for a bulletproof vest. So it is.
from
This
Left
is not
Wings.
the time for this,
Yeah.
and it is very dangerous.
And it's crazy how they want to point out this is the bring down the temperature. Let's not do stuff like that. Yeah, spoken like spoken like a Republican, spoken like a conservative, because they seem to be the ones running or being involved in these types of situations. And I know some Democrats and some liberals have had some interactions, but the majority of stuff is only coming from one side of the party line, though. So these extremists, they need to get them in line, though, because I'm telling you, nobody's trying to go after Jasmine Crockett. All this is just her saying somebody's trying to come after her. But the people on the left, they're the ones, they're the extremists. They're the ones that went after the Josh Shapiro. They're the ones that burned down his house. Allegedly, they're the ones that broke into what's her face, Nancy Pelosi's house and knocked her husband out, which was a whole weird conversation. But allegedly that appears to be that this dude was a left-wing dude, a left-wing extremist. And then we have the Charlie Kirk situation and what happened with Trump. Like, these are all left-wing extremist people, at least adjacent in most cases, that's where the violence has been coming from, though. So maybe Jasmine Crockett does get some type of violent threat or whatever the case is. It can't be more than what everyone else is getting on the right. So I'm not saying, have no sympathy, but a lot of politicians, because of their rhetoric, have unleashed these people into the wild, and they're going after everybody, though. That's why you can't get in bed with extremists, because once you let the pit bull go, you can't yank their collar back. That's what they're running into. They ran into the pro-Palestine people. They ran it with the Roe v. Wade protests and the BLM protesters or riots. Like, they can't pull any of those people back once they let them off the leash. So they get them all riled up and they say, "Hey, do all this stuff, but don't come after me." Well, they're coming after you guys now.
Look, the death threats thing, I believe her. I'm familiar with a couple people locally running for stuff, and they've both received death threats already.
Yeah.
And it sucks that that's what politics has evolved. Well, I guess it's always kind of been like that. But
Oh, yeah.
these over emotional people, when it comes to stuff like this, they drive me nuts, and that sucks for her. And this is probably one of the few times I'll kind of compliment her and say she handles these types of things kind of well as
Who?
any politician could. Jasmine Crockett,
Oh,
she does.
God. All right, let me get this going.
dangerous for this. So I hear you on even on the danger, even on campuses, but I
Yeah.
wanted to bring this in because this is the kind of messaging they're hearing on their sports.
Get ish for her districts. And so the best she can do right now, not just for her district, but for the country, is to speak up and hold them to account at every single
Now,
level.
She does.
Are there black-
Pause.
Jeez.
I hate that response. The best thing that she can do is speak up.
That's
No,
not even her
not the
job.
best- that's not the best thing to do. The best thing you can do is tell me what type of legislation or changes that you're pushing for. And
Yes.
this is my biggest frustration. TR, I'm on her website right now, and I'm looking at the issues that she's listed on here. Healthcare, that's a big deal, right? She just posted a quick 3-sentence statement that she believes that everybody deserves it. Like it doesn't have anything about execution or any acts that she wishes to pass.
Or illegal? Are they allowed to have healthcare as well too?
They won't answer that question.
Nope.
They won't answer that question. Education. Here's another nothing burger. She talks about how she's the daughter of a teacher and knows firsthand the benefits of education. No policies there. It's just like feel good stuff. When you
Yep.
go to these pages and you look at these issues that they stand on, they're not giving you any answers. In the economy, probably the most important issue to most people, right? Well, she's a small business owner, so she understands mom and dad pop-up shops are the backbone of our economy. That's the sentence, TR.
Yeah.
There's like, what are you going to do? Are you going to lower taxes for them? Are you going to give them some type of credits? Like, how are you going to help them? Like, this is where I get confused because at least I know one of the things that I actually agree 100% with Trump on the economy. I'm with him on the economy. He came in talking about how we have all of these bad deals with these other countries. They're charging us tariffs. They're not letting us sell our products over there. And he went in and went to work on that immediately.
Yeah.
And he talked about it during his campaign. That is one area where I rock with him is the economy. And I'm not getting any answers from her website. And when I hear her talk, she has the same talking points as the rest of the parties. Okay, Trump bad, Trump evil, we hate Trump. Okay, fine. What are you going to do that's better than what he's doing?
Exactly.
That's really all I'm trying to hear.
MC.
I don't even know what y'all want to do half the time because the only things y'all stand 10 toes down on are baby deletions and illegal migrants coming into the country.
Yep. MC, there's a senator, in our hometown, Chambers. And he's not a senator anymore though. But this guy was in the Senate for actually, was he Senate or was he? He wasn't councilman, was he?
Oh, Ernie Chambers. He was a state senator.
Yeah, state senator. Okay, so Senator Chambers. I'm putting respect on his name. Wonderful guy. He did something that was great for, for the community. He gave the community the voice. The problem was, I can't remember a damn thing that he did that he got accomplished. I know he went after people. He generally went after white people, like, keeping it 100. He just wanted to yell at white people. And that's funny, maybe for the clicks and likes. But when people's lives are on the line, the way they live, when people are looking for resources, that stuff ain't funny anymore. That stuff starts being funny after like maybe a year. And he had a long, tenure in the Senate. But unfortunately, I can't recall, like, I'm not saying he was not impactful, but could he have done more? Yes, he could have done more. Being a state senator, and so that's something that from our community, that would have been great. Like our hometown, like that would have been great for for Ernie to push whatever do his job in the Senate. But unfortunately, he didn't do that. He was more about arguing with people and fighting with people. And then his legacy will be, I don't know what his legacy will be. I mean, other than, again, fighting with white people. That's the only thing I think his legacy will be. And it's unfortunate, though, because I think he could have really, changed the temperature, or he could have really, took Omaha to the next level. But unfortunately, he did not do that. So, this is all great for the likes and everything. And we see this on the other side with, Marjorie Taylor as well as Nancy Mace. Sometimes I'm like, are y'all saying this shit just to get clicks and likes though? Because sometimes I'd be wondering about y'all. That's why, like, when you try to have these conversations with people that are actually doing the will of the people, serving the people, they really don't do it, or they do it for a few months. They definitely during campaign season they say they'll do it, but they really don't do it. And that's all Stephen A. Smith is saying. Like, you can do all that arguing, fine. You better be getting shit done. This better be after hours. All she's only gone viral for talking shit with Trump or the Marjorie Taylor or Nancy Mace. That's it. That's the only thing she's gone viral for. I don't know what she's been able to get accomplished. Like, I could probably look it up though, but she has yet to get those things accomplished.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up Nancy Mason, Marjorie Taylor Greene, because at times, and I've said this before when we talked about Jasmine Crockett, I really don't see her and Marjorie Taylor Greene kind of act alike. They really
Yeah.
do. Like, it's like
Yeah.
you
No
attack,
man, no
you look
kids.
pretty.
Or
Well,
actually,
I mean,
MTG has kids, but
I mean
divorced.
that's a good point, and that's another thing. If you don't have any functional relationships with the opposite sex, what does that say about your ability to work
Yeah,
with the
Jasmine Crockett ain't
opposite
got no
sex?
black husband, got no black kids, but she's the pro blackity blacks. All right.
But at times, like I was saying, I don't really see the difference between them. It seems like they just look for these viral moments and these quote
Yeah.
unquote clapbacks in Congress, which I don't know when that became a thing. But and for the record, we're bringing this up first of all because it's true, and second of all, nobody's above smoke here.
Yeah,
You
yes.
you work for the people. You have to be held accountable.
You're a
And you
public
can be
servant.
criticized. Yes,
Public
criticism
servant.
comes with that.
Yeah, exactly. Jeez.
I
Man that's
think that-
listening to Stephen A. Bakari.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
But they would
there are
take
people who
that
like,
and take
there are
it
people who
seriously.
like,
Yes.
yeah,
For
yeah,
white men.
yeah, and they think
I
that
think
they
white
think
men.
they
You
think
guys,
that
it's
Jasmine
not
Crockett
just
talks
white
with her
men.
neck
No,
and,
I'm not just
and
saying
gets too loud and
exclusively.
snaps her fingers and all that, and they caricature her like he's doing.
Yeah.
And so my point though is that I didn't like the back and forth with Jasmine Crockett and Nancy Mace or whoever it was, right? But
Nancy Mace is the one that got violent. She was the
No-
one
no
that said, "Let's
question.
take it
I mean,
outside."
She got
Yeah.
violent.
I know them
Okay.
both very
Marjorie
well.
Taylor Greene.
I know them
Yeah.
both very well, and that just because I was in
They
the
attacked
legislature, so
her.
I look at that totally different. However, I will tell you that there is a through line between the Ice Cubes and the Jason Whitlocks and the Stephen A. Smith.
This
And-
is where I got pissed off, T.O.
Why is Ice Cube catching smoke? All Ice Cube was trying to do was, what was it called? The Contract for Black America? I don't know
he
why
did
they
more
hate
than
him.
that. He did more than that. He secured, and we talked about this on the previous show. He secured a $100 million contract with the NFL to have black vendors print their
Oh, yeah.
merchandise.
Yeah.
He actually went in and got the bag, and this was after everybody clowned him for meeting with Trump. Ice Cube has done nothing but work for people behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I've got nothing that says otherwise. If you look at the ownership of the big three, I saw a bunch of black folks. He's trying to help people get paid.
Yep.
So where is this energy coming from? Y'all still mad because he met with Trump, but he got results from that.
Yeah, Ice Cube
What are
should
we
not be in. No black man should be in these conversations though. But it's easy. See, they can only go after black men. It's not like only black men or had some accountability for. Everybody's had accountability. Well, if you're a conservative or you're independent, you've had accountability for Jasmine Crockett and also accountability for everybody. Like, who's above? Trump's not above it. Trump's done a lot of great things. Trump, I've said this before though. I want to see, and he's getting this started, go after those rogue prosecutors. That's where I was like, why is this taking so long? It's starting to move. We're starting to see some movement, especially with, Big Shame, Letitia James, and Alvin Bragg, and then Fonnie Willis. Like, these are all the people that were weaponized by the Biden administration to go after Trump, and they colluded with the White House. So we're starting to see those things take place. He got the Gaza thing taken care of. I know he thought it was going to be a quick, process, maybe with a month or two. It took a little bit longer, but he got the job done. But again, what I'm saying is that nobody's above accountability, and Trump would tell himself that. For some reason, when it's a black woman, they're above accountability. And sorry, my apologies. When it's a liberal black woman or a Democrat black woman, they're above accountability. If it's a black woman, they drag that chick. They talk all the shit. They will talk shit on her. They won't vote for her. They'll do everything. Well, if it's a black man, essentially, if they're conservative, Byron Donalds. I mean, Byron Donalds gets so much smoke, unnecessary fucking smoke. The dude's a father, has been married to his wife, or they've been married for a while, but and all he does is what he does is just try to take care of his community, or what he represents.
And
So-
if you know anything about his story, he was arrested and went to jail and
Oh yeah.
turned his life around.
Yep.
And not to mention, he graduated
As
from
a
an
teenager.
HBC. He graduated from an HBCU.
Yeah, you
Like,
told me that too. I didn't even know that.
yeah, he graduated from Florida A&M. So I don't know what people smoke is for people like him. If you're going to say it's his wife, well, let's talk about all these black women in power that we always big up, and that's married to white men. Yet they're always criticizing white men.
Yep.
Like, what do we like? Keep that same energy. That's all I'm saying.
Facts.
And
Mhm.
these individuals, and Ice Cube may be slightly different than the other two,
Slightly.
but
Yes,
these,
Slightly.
but
so
these, but
slightly.
these individuals have been around since we have been on this freedom struggle. There have always been individuals oversight or the appropriations process, right? And how you're able to bring resources back to your community.
Oh yeah, when it comes to like reparations and everything, there have been countless of the Congressional Black Caucus, the out of especially out of California. There have been all types of other groups, and if reparations was a big deal, then why didn't you hold Kamala Harris fucking accountable about it? She said she wasn't gonna do reparations, and you motherfuckers just sat on your fucking hands and didn't say anything. If reparations is that big of a deal, then why wasn't it big deal when Kamala Harris said she was not going to do reparations? I'm not even going to talk about Barack Obama. We knew he fucking was going to do it. Or Joe Biden. Kamala said she wasn't going to do fucking reparations. And most of you motherfuckers went after Byron Donalds when he said he wasn't about reparations. He actually gave a real reason why you can't do reparations. I mean, you can obviously do it. It's going to be fucked up, but he gave like a pretty reasonable reason why you cannot do reparations in the United States in 2025. Like he made a case for it.
Or what Jasmine is doing, so he rather lampoon her, or instead of having a constructive conversation. And so I've said what I've had to say about Stephen A. Smith in my book. Anywhere I can. I don't have a lot of use for him in the political dialogue.
Jeez.
I think that there are individuals who he matriculated with at Winston-Salem State University that are extremely disappointed about the man he's become.
It's so disheartening.
Like, who gives a fuck? He gives the HBCU. He does that. The HBCU week. Like, I don't see anyone else do any of that. He doesn't have to do any of that shit, and he does it. You there, MC?
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
Yep, I'm here. I'm here.
Got it.
Like man haters and all this, but I feel such confidence in black men. I've never bought into the idea that all these black men are voting for Trump. Like, they vote overwhelmingly Democrat. We're pretty much in line with each other. What you all are saying is no, they are.
And that is a fucking problem. If black men and black women have been voting in lockstep with each other, how has that worked out? The Democrats have controlled the White House for the last, 16 years? How's that worked out for black people? Seriously, like, that's what I want to know. How has that been the best option for black people when we've been voting Democrat and even longer than that, but like I said, for the last 16 years, how has that worked out for black people in mass? Have you got the results that you were expecting? Has it, have we already received the results that you probably thought we would be at? Like, most people probably would say no. And I'm not even on this shit. Like, black people have to always vote Democrat. You should vote who's going to be the best candidate for you, as well as vote for a candidate you can believe that is going to be, that someone that you trust. And I know trust is hard to say when it comes to politicians, though, but you got to trust somebody.
I'm going to keep an open mind on this one. I'm not expecting a real answer, but I know when you post this video, TR, we're going to get all the slander and all the smoke in the comments. But when y'all done doing all of that, I want you to write in the comments what you like about Jasmine Crockett. What are we missing? What has she done that we have not talked about or haven't seen? I really want to know the answer to this question.
Also, I want to know if you have a black kids and you have a black wife too.
That'll probably helpful as well.
No, it's going never mind. I can't say it.
And the data shows that there have been inroads among black men. I want to ask why, because it is frustrating to me, and it feels heartbreaking, to be honest, because we are impacted by this system as well. It's not a matter of who's impacted worse. We're impacted differently.
Victim Olympics.
It bothers me. Let's deal with the elephant in the room. Who has been the head of the black family since at least the 60s?
It's been black women.
It's been black women. You have been the heads of households. You were in positions of leadership, and somehow you don't know what's going on with the people you were leading, and you don't know why these quote unquote rifts that are between black men and black women are happening. What does that say something about us, or does that say something about the leadership that was in place?
Yeah,
I'm just throwing that out there. Y'all can answer it for yourselves, but at some point, and first of all, let me pivot real quick. I think 1 in 3, almost 1 in 3 black men voted for Trump. It might have been 1 in 4 or something like that.
I think it's 1 in 4. The majority of black people voted, which is funny. They talk about all these black men that voted for Trump. It doesn't matter. Majority of black men still voted for Kamala Harris.
My point is, the way we do politics is silly, because if we really were serious about being influential and making some type of change, the proper play is to tell both sides, what do you want? What are you going to do for us? We're not taking anybody's side until we hear what your plans are, and make them compete for our vote. But if I know that I got you on lock every single time everybody goes to the polls, of course you're going to be the last people I see. Of course you're going to be at the bottom of the priority list.
Yeah, exactly.
Sit at the intersection of being black and being women. And so when men are frustrated with this system, it feels like they fight us. And I would put Stephen A. Smith in that category too. I'm mad at y'all for having joy. I'm mad at y'all for having success. I'm mad at y'all for surpassing us on college campuses. And so it's a small sect of men that are so angry and hurt that they're willing to align
surpassing us on college
with the people.
campuses. TR, who has the largest amount of consumer debt?
Man, you black men, or men in general, not even just, this is not even like a race issue. I know we're talking about a lot of race. You're gonna be the person that you get all the blame. You're gonna be the reason why she couldn't be CEO of Nabisco. You're gonna be the reason why she couldn't get that. She couldn't be a wife or whatever the case is. You're 100% gonna be the blame, because I don't know why Tiffany Cross went into this. You were talking about Stephen A. and then you pivoted into like, well, black men don't do it. More black men supported the fucking WNBA over any other race out there. I mean, I can't prove it, so don't ask me. But it appears
we proved that on previous shows.
Have we? Okay, fuck it.
Yeah.
But the point is, I mean, more black men have been involved with supporting, the majority of black organizations out there. And so for her to come out here, no matter what your fucking politics are, the majority of black men will support these events, no matter what, off rip, for whatever fucking reason. So for her to come out here and start like shitting, slandering black men, and we got 2 black men, again, one is Zessie because one got caught with a white escort. I'll let you figure out who that person was, but a white male escort on a cocaine bender. But I don't want to get messy, but pause. But the point is that you have these 2 men up here because Tiffany is talking. This is Tiffany, right? I forget.
Tiffany Cross.
Yeah. So they are claiming that men are supporting them, or black men are always against them. If we have a disagreement, we're not a fucking monolith. And black people, I hear black people already want to say that we're not a monolith. We're not a monolith. I can't tell by the voting. I can't tell if you have smoke for a black woman. The only time that you have smoke for a black person is when that person is conservative. That's it. That is the one time I can tell you you have smoke for that person.
I'll expand it a little bit further than that. They'll have smoke for them if they don't do what they think you need to do. If you start operating the way you need to, as opposed to what they want you to do, then they're going to call you all kinds of names, as we're going to see pretty soon in this video.
Yeah, let me find that real quick.
Well, press us. What am I getting wrong? Because if you listen to Stephen A. Smith and you find anything other than some absolute, pure, self-hating, little dick energy nonsense from that half-witted idiot basking in the non-existent rays of his own ignorance, it is sad to me that he even gets an audience of black men. Why aren't black men right now saying, Stephen A. Smith, we banning him, we not listening to his podcast, we're not watching his show anymore?
All right, fuck Tiffany Cross then. Fuck that. How about that? I'm gonna stop sharing her then, because no matter what you do, again, Stephen A. he can do all these things. Stephen A.'s been called a sellout on his own goddamn show by Terrell Owens. He's been called a lot of derogatory comments. He had to go through that bullshit with LeBron fucking James, and LeBron was 100% in the wrong for that shit. Stephen A. wasn't going after his son, and Stephen A. Smith just catch all the fucking smoke because he decides to have one conversation about Jasmine Crockett, and then she starts adding all these ad hominem attacks about people that listen to his podcast. If the Democrats were smart, they would start ingratiating themselves with Stephen A. Because this last election told you you're not going to win on the radio, you're not going to win on television, maybe the internet, or maybe on social media, but you need to do podcasts. You need to go on these shows like Stephen A. or Joe Rogan. Kamala was like too good to go on Joe Rogan, and we saw how that happened or how that helped. I'm not sure. I know for a fact it would not have helped her push her over the top, but she could have gained some more voters, more support that way.
I'll end on this. And this question is specifically for Tiffany Cross. I doubt she ever sees it. But the reason why she didn't understand, you know what, TR, fuck it, I'm going to just say it. Most black women aren't as familiar with black men as they think they are. They think they know what we want and what's best for us, but the fact of the matter is you didn't take the time to listen. And quite frankly, I wonder if you even care. And if you don't care, that's fine, but just let your intentions be known and we'll deal with it as we see fit. But you cannot be a pro-black. And what I've learned, TR, is a lot of these so-called pro-blacks, what they really mean is pro-black women. They don't mean pro-black people. That movement has been hijacked too. So that's why somebody like me will stand on his own political island and just try to figure things out for himself. Because I'm not following anybody I don't believe in.
Yeah, and we don't agree with 100% with anybody says. So, and that's, conservative or Republican. Like, I got my doubts. I already got some wild theories out there for what some of the things that the Democrats have been, or not the Democrats, but the Republicans have been involved with, though. But I mean, look, I'm looking at all these other issues before I even get to these other issues. So no one's above criticism. Jasmine Crockett isn't, Tiffany Cross, and the rest of the Zest Fest folks on that podcast who all been fired from their all respective shows that were ran by white people. They've all been fired from those shows. And I remember when Joy Taylor, they were trying to get black people to watch Joy Taylor. If white people don't watch Joy Taylor, she ain't going nowhere. They got tired of being called, terrible white people. That's why her show plummeted. And that's why they elevated, Tweety Bird with the glasses. Like, I don't understand why you guys have so much smoke for, white, or you have so much smoke for black people when we're not the ones getting in your way, messing up your bag, slandering you on the internet. Like, that's just not us. I mean, we're talking shit now just because of this, podcast take. But anyways, all right, MC. Final thoughts.
No, I think we cooked a little bit tonight, and we getting back into the swing of things. So looking forward for more content from the Black Phoenix podcast.
Hey, for real though. All right, everybody. Have a good night.
Peace.